The gospel begins today. On the way to Jerusalem, Jesus was going through the region between Samaria and Galilee. Between. It's not one place or the other. It's the space in between, where travelers move with uncertainty, old boundaries blur, and grace begins to take shape. Several of us from St. Aidan's found ourselves in a kind of borderland this weekend. The annual convention of the Episcopal Church in Colorado gathers us in the space between the life of our parishes and the life of the wider church. We sit shoulder to shoulder with people that we don't see very often, stepping just far outside our routines to remember who we are and whose we are. We sat together as former presiding Bishop Michael Curate stood up to preach. He began in that steady, familiar rhythm of his voice, building, and then rising up to thunder that filled the church. We have a witness yet to make. Those words lingered across convention. We have a witness yet to make. This morning, I can't help but picture those 10 people walking down the dusty road, carrying wounds that the world would rather not see, daring to believe that what Jesus says is true. When we walk as Jesus commands, transformation happens. Our witness is in the gratitude that returns us to God. We have a witness yet to make. 10 people stand at a distance, voices hoarse from the years of shouting, "Unclean." They cannot come near anyone without fear. Yet they see Jesus, and something in them believes that healing might be possible. Jesus, Master, have mercy on us. Jesus doesn't touch them. He simply says, "Go and show yourselves to the priest." That's it. No proof, no visible change, no sign that anything is different. Just the command, go. And Luke tells us, as they went, they were cleansed. The miracle happens along the way. The lepers must walk before they are healed. Walk without seeing, trusting a word alone. Most of us would rather wait for a little bit of proof before taking that next step. Yet the gospel insists that the transformation happens on the road, not in the safety of knowing, but in the faith of going. Now we know that road, the road between Galilee and Samaria, between what was and what will be. It's the road where churches discern how to remain faithful in this changing world. Our discernment process here at St. Aidan's and who we might be in 75 years. It's the road where you keep on serving, loving, and showing up, even when the result is invisible. At convention this weekend, we named what we already know. Much of the world that we live in needs healing. We live among violence, division, ecological grief, and weariness that seeps into our bones. The church itself bears wounds, decline, fatigue, fear of what the future may bring. So of course it is tempting to stand still, to say that we will walk once we can see the outcome. Yet faith calls us to move, to go, to trust that healing will come as we walk. Jesus' words to the lepers are not only instruction, they are invitation to us. Go. Go live as though mercy is already at work. Go before you can see. I think Jesus says this to us because we have become more comfortable observing brokenness than in participating in healing. We have become spectators of wounds rather than in witnesses to grace. And yet, the gospel turns. One man, realizing that he has been healed, stops. He turns back from the road to the priest, from social duty to personal doxology. He returns, praising God with a loud voice, and he falls at Jesus' feet in thanksgiving. That turning back is recognition. The man knows that what has happened to him is mercy. He does what healed people do. He returns thanks. Gratitude, I think, is theology in motion. It names grace, returns to the source, and it reorients our lives. The 10 people in this text all walked, all healed, but only one let healing turn him around. He is the living parable of Bishop's Curry call. We have a witness yet to make. Witness happens when healing meets gratitude, when movement turns to praise. We have a witness yet to make. Jesus asked, I imagine almost wistfully, were not 10 made clean? But the other 9, where are they? And then he says to the one before him, rise and go. Your faith has made you well. The Greek word here, sesoken, it means more than healed. It means saved, made whole. The man's body was not the only thing restored. His relationship to community, his belonging, his soul is made new. He began the story standing at a distance. Now he kneels at the feet of Jesus. The distance, it's gone. That is what salvation looks like in Luke's gospel. Estrangement overcome by encounter. The unclean are touched. the outcast embraced, the boundaries dissolved. And notice, the one who models this faith is the Samaritan, the outsider, the very person most excluded by the religious system becomes the exemplar of faithful witness. Luke's gospel loves this reversal. The least likely person becomes the teacher. The rejected becomes the revealer. The Samaritan's praise is the first proclamation of the good news. God's healing has come, and gratitude is the only proper response. As I listened to Bishop Curry's preaching and teaching at convention, he reminded us that the world still waits for that kind of witness. A witness that does not begin in strength or certainty, but in thanksgiving. A church whose first language is gratitude. Our witness is not only in what we build or decide, but in the way that we turn back to Christ again and again, naming what grace has already done. We have seen that witness in our shared ministry at St. Aidan's. I see it so poignantly with our partners at Lutheran Campus Ministry and with Pastor Monica, serving students through bread and belonging. Each Tuesday night, as students gather for a meal, they come from their own borderlands. Some between faith and doubt, some between loneliness and community, some between hunger and home. Around the table, transformation begins, but it's not always visible, but it's real. Healing as they go, wholeness as they gather, gratitude as they return. When we give thanks, when we name that grace out loud, we make the witness that Bishop Curry is speaking about. A witness that looks like joy, a witness that sounds like praise, a witness that walks and returns again and again to the source of our healing. Because faith, it's a road to travel. When we walk as Jesus commands, transformation happens. And our true witness is in the gratitude that returns to God. So may we walk. May we give thanks. May we turn back often, again and again. And may the world know through us that healing is still happening on the road. Amen.